For a little while, a woman may have been with a man who is unable to be there for her. This can be because he is too focused on taking care of his mother's needs and doesn't have much time or energy left for anyone else. As a result, this is not going to be a relationship that is having a positive effect on her. But as she will have given a lot and received very little in return, this is to be expected. What can often enter her mind is that she needs to cut her ties with him and move on. During this time, she can think about how he is not going to change, and she is wasting her life by staying with him. This could be something that enters her mind a few times a week, or it could be something that enters her mind more often. However, another stronger part of her might not want to take this step. If so, this part of her can not only believe that he will change if she hangs in there, but that it wouldn't be right for her to leave him. When it comes to the latter, she can believe that she needs to support him. It is then going to be her responsibility to be there for him and to hang around until he has been able to break away from his mother. Due to this, she is not going to be able to move on. If she were to imagine drawing the line and leaving him, then she is likely to end up feeling guilty and ashamed. It will be as if she has done something that is bad and will be filled with regret. Staying with him will then be having a negative impact on her mental and emotional health, but this will just be something that she has to put up with. Being there for him and seeing this through will be what matters. If she were to share what is going on for her with a friend or family member, they could say that she is not responsible for him and needs to do what is right for her. They might even say that she doesn't owe him anything. She could make it clear that she agrees with what they are saying, or she could just listen to what they have to say. Either way, it is not going to have much of an impact on how she behaves. Ultimately, as she is not his parent, there is no reason for her to feel responsible for him. The only person who she is responsible for is herself, and by ignoring herself and focusing on him, she is abandoning herself. Thanks to this, not only will the man have turned his back on himself, but she will have also done the same thing. And as she is putting her time and energy into a man who is not playing his part, she won't be helping him. She will be enabling his behavior and working herself into the ground. Naturally, as long as she supports his behavior, there will be less need for him to change his behavior. Yet, if she were to cut her ties with him, this might give him the push that he needs to change course. If she were to reflect on this, she could wonder why she feels responsible for him and feels comfortable neglecting herself. What this is likely to show is that her inner model, when it comes to relationships, relates to her ignoring her needs and focusing on another person. Along with this, she is likely to believe that her needs are not as important as another person's needs and are bad. Her needs will then be of secondary importance, and she will need to hide them. Most likely, how she behaves in this area of her life is a reflection of how she behaved as a child. At this stage of her life, she probably had a mother and perhaps a father who were emotionally unavailable and unable to be there for her. She would then have been forced to focus on their needs and ignore a number of her own needs. Instead of being able to be a child and freely express herself, she would have had to act like a parental figure and play a role. As she was egocentric, this would have caused her to believe that there was something wrong with her needs and that she was responsible for others. To survive a depriving environment, she had to abandon herself and become a needless human being. Many, many years will have passed, but a big part of her will still be trying to meet her unmet developmental needs. This part of her will cause her to unconsciously recreate situations that are very similar to how it was for her as a child, in the hope that she will finally be loved. This part of her won't realize that this stage of her life is over and that another person is not her mother and or father, as it has no sense of time and is blind. It was too hard for her to face her feelings very early on, and this is why they were repressed. But she is now strong enough to gradually face and work through them. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.